The word guest makes it a little difficult to understand, but it doesn't mean you are there to just be served by someone. Minasan konnichiwa, and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. I'm sure many of you are hoping to experience a tea ceremony when you come to Japan. However, I've talked to a lot of people who are a little worried because they've heard that there are a lot of rules. Yes, that is correct. But if it's your first experience, there's just a few things you can keep in mind. So today, as a tea ceremony trainee in Kyoto, I'll explain the 4 taboos that you can keep in mind before taking part in a Japanese tea ceremony. The 4 taboos will get more and more important towards the end, so I hope you can enjoy this video till the end. And as I always say in these manners and taboo videos, I really don't want anyone to worry too much. But on the other hand, I do want to give you some advice to make the most of your tea ceremony experience in Japan. If you have any other questions about tea ceremonies after watching this video, please let me know in the comments. In this channel, you can take a closer look at Japanese traditional culture, tips on traveling Kyoto, and social problems in Japan. So learners and lovers of Japanese language and culture, be sure to subscribe to enjoy more content. それでは本日もお抹茶を立ててまいりましょう。1. Keeping accessories on. All rings, bracelets, necklaces, and earrings and other jewelry must all be removed before the tea ceremonies. There are mainly 2 reasons why. 1. To avoid damaging the tea utensils. 2. To avoid disturbing the tea utensils' beauty. In a tea ceremony, each utensil is not only functional, but is also a way for the host to express their hospitality to the guests. They will choose the designs and patterns of the utensils that fit the season or the occasion of the gathering. There are some tools that are hundreds of years old and cost several million yen per item. Even if the price value is unknown, the host may be using family treasures that have been passed down from generation to generation for the guests. For example, the tea bowls that I usually use in my training were made by my sensei's late grandfather. If by any chance these precious utensils are broken or damaged, it's impossible to restore them perfectly. As a response to the host's hospitality, the guest must show the utmost respect for the utensils that are used. Many guests visit the tea ceremony to enjoy the decorations and utensils specially prepared by the host for the occasion. In order to avoid disturbing the tea utensils' simple beauty, accessories must be removed at tea ceremonies. 2. Wearing perfume. It would be best to avoid putting on perfume on the day of a tea ceremony. This is because enjoying the natural aroma of the incense and matcha tea is one of the most enjoyable aspects of the tea ceremony. In a Japanese-style room where tea ceremonies are held, there's a space called tokonoma, which is one step higher than the rest of the room. This is a space that is like a smaller version of a room where people of high rank used to sit, which is called the Chodan-no-ma, and is considered to be the most prestigious place in the room. The most important items in the tea ceremony, such as the hanging scroll and the flowers, will be placed there. But also, there are some occasions where there is a small container. This container is called a kogo, and it's actually something you keep the incense in. Incense, which is burned with charcoal under the pot, is placed at the tokonoma because it plays an important role in tea ceremonies by providing relaxation effects to the participants. I highly recommend you refrain from putting on perfume on the day of a tea ceremony and concentrate on the fragrance of the incense and tea. 3. Being barefoot. Tea ceremonies will generally take place in a Japanese-style room, which will have the traditional tatami mats as floorings. It is strictly prohibited to walk barefoot on the tatami mats, not only during the tea ceremonies, but for any other occasion. This is because tatami mats are made of natural straw and cannot be easily wiped clean like wooden floors if it gets dirty. Tatami mats cost approximately 5,000 to 20,000 yen each. And in order to replace them, you need to ask a professional for the job, which requires a lot of effort and costs. Why use such tiresome flooring in the first place? This question might cross your mind, but tatami mats are actually another form of hospitality from the host. Tatami has long been treated as a high-grade type of flooring because of how much skill and time is required to make them, and also how comfortable it is to sit or sleep on them. Guests try to treat the tatami as carefully as possible in response to the hospitality of the owner who used such expensive floorings for them. Today, there are rules for placing the tea utensils depending on the lines of the tatami mats, so they are inseparable from tea ceremonies. If you are a tea ceremony trainee, you are always required to wear white tabi or socks inside the tea room. But if it's only a one-time experience, you don't have to do that much, so any color of clean socks will do. If you are traveling in sandals, it would be very appreciated if you can prepare a pair of socks. By the way, there are two more things that you should not step on in a Japanese-style room, regardless of whether you are barefoot or not. The edge of the tatami mats and the cushions. There are many reasons why you should avoid stepping on the edge of the tatami mats. 1. The edge of a tatami mat serves as a boundary line to indicate the status of the person sitting on it. 2. The edges are weaker and more easily damaged than the surface. 3. The edges are sometimes decorated with family crests. 4. To prevent stumbling on them. Next, if a cushion has been prepared for you, it is impolite to step on it before sitting down. The proper way is to sit on the floor first and then to tuck the cushion under your hips. The cushion is a form of care and kindness of the owner to his or her guests, so they don't get numb legs during the tea ceremony. Stepping on it is considered to be stepping on the goodwill of the host. 4. Talking randomly. Talking is not completely prohibited during tea ceremonies. However, one of the best parts of a tea ceremony is the sounds of nature, water, and the movements of the host that allows you to focus on the moment. If you speak without any care, you may be disturbing other guests having their precious moments. In order to enjoy the tea ceremony in the best way possible, please pause for a moment to listen carefully to the surrounding sounds. As you may have understood through this video, a tea ceremony is something the host and the guests create together. The word guest makes it a little difficult to understand, but it doesn't mean you are there to just be served by someone. It is also a chance for guests to learn how to care for others and express your appreciation and respect. It may seem a bit tiresome, but the joy of creating a place with other people are definitely worth it. And I hope you can have an experience of a lifetime. Then lastly, today's conclusion. I introduced the 4 basic taboos during a tea ceremony. 1. Keeping accessories on. Jewelry must be removed before the tea ceremony to avoid damaging utensils and disturbing their beauty. 2. Wearing perfume. Enjoying the natural aroma of the incense in matcha tea is one of the most enjoyable aspects of the tea ceremony. 3. Being barefoot. It is strictly prohibited to walk barefoot on tatami mats to prevent them from getting dirty. So please always wear clean socks or bring them with you. You shouldn't step on the edge of the tatami mats and the cushions either, because it is disrespectful regardless of whether you are barefoot or not. 4. Talking randomly. One of the best parts of a tea ceremony is the sounds of nature, water, and the movements of the host, so you can focus on the moment. Please pause for a moment to listen carefully to the surrounding sounds. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If this video helped you to deepen your understanding towards Japanese tea ceremony, please hit the like button to help me boost this video to more people. And my goal is to achieve 1 million subscribers by January 2023, so your help would mean a lot. And please check out our sub-channel and membership through the link inside the description box. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. 皆さんどうもありがとうございました。As as I was filming this video, I really thought that it might have been a little bit confusing about the tatami edge of the time mats and it being a boundary to express the status between the people. I didn't add enough information about that, I think. Yep. But during the tea ceremony, the thing is, all the guests actually have different tasks they are given during the tea ceremony. And they're all given basically like a number. Yep. So the guest called Shokyaku, who is the guest who's closest to the host during the tea ceremony, is considered the highest rank. And then it goes down from there. Jikyaku will be the next guest, Sankyu Yonkei, and it just goes from 3, 4, 5th until the last guest. Yeah. And then each guest actually has different tasks during the tea ceremony, and the most experienced person in tea ceremony should be the shokyaku, the first guest or main guest, they're called. Yeah. But this doesn't mean that the main guest or the shokyaku is more important than the other guests. It just simply means that as a person who has most experience and knowledge, takes responsibility to keep the tea ceremony properly running. Yep. But to indicate that that person is the most experienced person and should be respected by the other guests, that's the reason why time mats are sometimes placed to show that the person who is the shokyaku or the main guest should sit in this time mat. So that's the reason why the lines can represent the boundaries, is what I mean by that. Yep. And another thing, the fourth one I was talking about talking randomly. Yeah, this is really difficult. It is very important that you always care about the other guests and see if they're actually talking or not at that moment. But there really are some tea ceremonies that, how should I say, everyone enjoys the conversation more and not actually listening to the water or the sounds of the wind and things like that. It's not always like that. Yeah. So I really don't want you to think, for example, if you actually take part in a tea ceremony, and for example, the host talks a lot or a different guest talks a lot during the tea ceremony, that's completely fine too. Yeah, if it's a tea ceremony that the people are enjoying the conversations more, that's completely fine too. Yeah. But the important thing is, it's important that you always care about others and see how everyone else would like to enjoy the tea ceremony. And training in tea ceremony, joining in tea ceremony, the reason is exactly this, that you look out for others much more. And as a tea ceremony trainee, definitely through my training, I've definitely learned a lot more about this.